My wife gave me divorce papers on Christmas. Her family cheered until she opened her eviction notice. The celebration ended pretty damn quick. Update 1: Christmas morning was supposed to be about family, gifts and joy. Instead, my wife handed me divorce papers right in front of her entire family. The room went silent for exactly 3 seconds before her mother started clapping. Then her sister joined in. Soon the whole living room erupted in celebration like I'd just announced I was leaving forever. Finally her mother said, not even trying to hide her smile, "She's been miserable for months. You two were never right for each other anyway." I looked around the room. Her father nodded approvingly. Her brother actually raised his coffee mug in a mock toast. Even her teenage nephew smirked from the corner where he'd been playing on his phone. This wasn't spontaneous. This was planned. Orchestrated. She told them exactly what she was going to do, and they'd all agreed to be here to witness my humiliation. My wife stood there with her arms crossed, waiting for me to break down or beg or make a scene. She wanted drama. She wanted me to give her family more reasons to hate me. Instead, I folded the papers neatly and slipped them into my back pocket. "Interesting timing," I said, my voice steady. "Christmas morning and all. Don't make this harder than it needs to be," she replied. "We both know this marriage is over. I'm just being honest about it." Her sister laughed. "Honest? She's been planning this for weeks." "We all have. You have no idea how relieved we are." I nodded slowly, taking in their faces. Every single person in that room looked at me like I was the problem. Like I was some burden that had finally been lifted from their perfect family. They had no clue what was coming. "Well," I said, reaching into my jacket pocket, "since we're being honest and all, I have something for you too." I pulled out an envelope. Clean white paper, official looking seal. Her confidence flickered for just a moment when she saw it. But then she straightened up again. "What's that supposed to be?" she asked. "Your Christmas present," I said, holding it out to her. "Open it. In front of everyone. Since you wanted an audience for this moment." Her mother leaned forward. "What kind of game are you playing?" "No game," I replied, "just returning the favor." She gave me papers. I'm giving her papers. Fair trade, don't you think? My wife snatched the envelope from my hand. She was trying to look confident, but I caught the slight tremor in her fingers as she tore it open. Her family crowded around her, eager to see what pathetic last-ditch effort I was making. The room was dead quiet as she unfolded the documents inside. I watched her face change. Confusion first, then recognition, then something close to panic. She read the first page twice before the color drained from her cheeks. "What is it?" her sister asked, trying to peer over her shoulder. My wife's hands were shaking now. She looked up at me with wide eyes, finally understanding that she'd made a critical miscalculation. "Go ahead," I said calmly. "Read it out loud. Share it with the family. They're all here to support you, right?" My wife's voice cracked as she read the header aloud. "Notice of eviction. 30 days to vacate the premises." The celebration in the room died instantly. Her mother's smug expression melted into confusion. Her sister stopped mid-laugh. Even the nephew looked up from his phone. "What does that mean?" her father asked, his tone suddenly serious. She kept reading, her voice getting quieter with each word. "Failure to comply with lease termination. Legal action will be pursued. All personal belongings must be removed." "I don't understand," her mother said, looking between us. "What lease? You two own that house." I couldn't help but smile. "Actually no, I own that house. Bought it 2 years before we got married. Never added her name to the deed. Funny how that works." The silence that followed was deafening. You could practically hear their minds racing, trying to process what this meant. My wife dropped into the nearest chair like her legs had given out. "But you can't just kick me out," she stammered. "I live there. I have rights." "What rights exactly?" I asked, genuinely curious. "You're not on the mortgage. You're not on the deed. You never contributed a dime to the down payment. Legally speaking, you're a tenant and I'm your landlord. And your landlord just gave you notice." Her brother stood up, puffing out his chest like he was going to intimidate me. "You can't do this. This is vindictive. She's your wife." "Was my wife," I corrected. "According to these divorce papers, she just served me. She doesn't want to be married anymore. Can't have it both ways. Either we're married and we work through our problems, or we're not married, and she finds somewhere else to live." Her mother's face had gone red. "This is cruel. Where is she supposed to go?" "That's not really my problem anymore, is it?" I said, settling back into my chair. "She made her choice. Adult choices come with adult consequences." My wife was frantically flipping through the pages, looking for some loophole, some way out. "This can't be legal. You can't just evict someone on Christmas." "Actually, the eviction notice is dated December 1st, I said. "I've been carrying it around for 3 weeks, waiting for the right moment. Seemed like today was perfect timing." The room erupted in angry voices. Her family started shouting at me all at once, calling me heartless, vindictive, cruel. But I noticed something interesting. Not one of them offered to let her stay with them. Not her parents, not her sister, not her brother. They were outraged on her behalf, but not one of them opened their home to her. "You planned this," she accused, her voice shaking with rage. "You knew I was going to ask for a divorce." "I suspected," I admitted. Hard to miss the signs when someone stops coming home 3 nights a week, and starts hiding their phone, but I wasn't certain until you handed me those papers just now. Her sister's jaw dropped. You've been planning to kick her out for weeks. I've been planning to protect myself, I corrected. There's a difference. See, I learned something important about your sister over the past few months. She's really good at making plans that benefit her, but she never thinks about the consequences. She never considers that other people might be making plans too. My wife looked like she was about to cry, but I wasn't done yet. This family had spent years treating me like I wasn't good enough for their princess. Time for them to see who she really was. My wife jumped up from the chair, the eviction papers scattered on the floor. This is insane. I helped pay for that house. I've been making payments too. Really? I pulled out my phone and opened my banking app. Show me. Show your family exactly which payments you've been making. She froze. Her family looked at her expectantly, waiting for her to prove me wrong. The seconds ticked by, and her silence said everything. The mortgage comes out of my account, I continued. Property taxes my account. Insurance my account. Utilities my account. Even the groceries come from my account. So please enlighten us about these payments you've been making. Her mother stepped forward. She contributes in other ways. She takes care of the house. She cooks. She hasn't cooked a meal in 8 months. I interrupted. And the only thing she cleans is her own makeup off the bathroom counter. When she's actually home, that is. Now you can watch the second part by pressing share and more.